What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. And we back at it once again. So when you see me, you know. It's the Motor City Cats. We back at it. We came to give you stats and not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And you know, we got some things that we're going to get into today. It is the third day of free agency. It's a little bit quiet. It's a little bit quiet around the league, but we'll talk about a few of the signings that happened around the league. And also, of course, we're going to talk about a couple of the signings and maybe not a signing. Well, I can't say maybe, but for surely not a signing that happened within the Detroit Lions organization and without. We're going to get into all of that and more. But there's a topic that's been permeating around the interwebs. Oh, it's beef, baby. It's beef. Some people are crashing out. So and so and such and such. Hold on. One second. I don't know if I can get this done. Probably should have done this before. Some people are crashing out. What's good, Lupe Lions 17? What's good, K8 Press and Tailor Made Media? I gotta figure out, bro. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, I have an idea. All right. Anyway, guys, give me 1 second. I got Easy supposed to be coming on, and it was a last minute thing. So I have an idea here. Um. All right. Hold on, guys. Um. I think you guys will be able to hear it, see it, all that stuff. But let me go ahead and do this. 1 second. It is a very quick, like, think on your feet type of move. I think it's gonna work out. I think it's going to work out. They call it mellow yellow. Um, Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Let's see if we can change the camera. What up, though, salty pork chops? What up, though? Here's Johnny. What up, though, Belinda Brown? They need Johnny to hold Johnny to suit up. All right, let me see. It's just like give me the ability to change my camera. Okay, we got that. All right, booyah! All right, baby. Send this link out. All right. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Where the link at? Where the link at? Where the link at? All right. All right. Now we're gonna do this. We're gonna take this window. I'm gonna turn on the window capture. And it will be all right. Can you guys still hear me? I'm pretty sure you can still hear me. Wait, I didn't even turn that on. Okay, there we go. All right, let's turn this off. Hold on. Let me turn everything else off. All right. Now, why did that happen? Yeah, that ain't working. Let me see. Oh, because I turned that off. Okay, I don't think that's gonna work. We'll just turn that off. All right. Anyway, we'll see if Easy comes through. But anyway. All right. As I said, there's people in the streets and they are crashing out and they are going left, right, and center. They're going choose your side. And you're either with Brad Holmes or you're against Brad Holmes, and there's no gray area and there's nothing in between. And I have to say, that makes very, very little sense. Bury that over there. Anyway, that makes very, very little sense. If you are looking objectively, and we're going to get into the moves that have been made today. If you're looking objectively at what's his name? Roy Lopez. If you're looking objectively at Levi Onwuzurike, if you're looking objectively at Kevin Zeitler walking away, you're looking and saying the Roy Lopez signing was a signing that we needed to make. Why is that? He played all 16 games last year. There's film of him being stout against the run when we played against the Cardinals. There's film of him doing what we need him to do, rushing the passer, putting pressure on, getting into the backfield, getting to the passer, wreaking havoc. He may be a depth guy. He's not a household name, but there's film of him doing the things that we need him to do. Why do we need him to do those things? Because Aleem McNeil is not going to be available for probably the beginning of the season. If you're thinking about it as an objective person, He tore his ACL in week what? Was it week 14 or something like that? He tore his ACL against the Buffalo Bills. So if you're looking at it objectively and you look at the timeline of that injury, you're like, he's probably not going to be back for training camp. He's probably not going to be ready to go at the beginning of the season. But if he's on the pup for 4 to 6 weeks, then that's probably something that that is going to be the option, right? So you needed Roy Lopez and you needed Levi Onwuzurike. If you look at the Levi Onwuzurike signing, it's a 1-year deal up to $5.5 million. It's an incentive laden deal. I don't know what the incentives are. When someone asked yesterday, would you bring back Levi Onwuzurike for $9 million? Shout out to Ronan99. He had that question. It was a mailbag question. Would you bring him back for $9 million? I said no, but they probably would. I was wrong on the number, not the fact that they would bring him back. They brought him back. The number was up to $5.5 million. I like the fact that it was an incentive laden contract. I like that. Because I was also not really feeling bringing him back. I wasn't feeling bringing him back for, I think PFF had this salary projection, which was wild. It was the wildest projection. He was supposed to get like 40 million or something. I don't know if it was per, or he was supposed to get like a large number per, like 15, upwards of 15, 20 million. I remember Kevin Zeitler saying that we would probably have two $20 million guys, meaning him and Aleem McNeil. Levi Onwuzurike had 3 half sacks, not 3.5, 3 half sacks for the entire season. So when you were talking about bringing him back, I was not a fan, especially if you're talking about that type of price point. But 1 year, a deal where he bet on himself because he didn't have the type of year that he wanted to have going into free agency. So he's going to be incentivized to try to dominate and have he's going to another contract year, right? He's going to try to show improve. He's going to try to explode onto the scene. He's going to try to, as he said when he was drafted, F-ish up. Okay? He said he was going to do all that. And he didn't do it because he was injured most of the time. Last year was his first actual full season of being healthy. So now he's going to go into free agency next year, hoping to have improved his stock at the negotiating table. He wasn't a $20 million guy if he only signed 1 year for $5.5 million. He and his agent know that his production from this past season wasn't what is going to warrant all that money. And that's what he wants. Right? He wants all that money. He wants to be mentioned in the conversation. Right? When you talk about the top 5 defensive tackles in the league,
who are the 5 best rappers of all time? Think about it. Dylon, and Dylon. Because I spit hot fire.
Right? That's what that's where he wants to be. He wants to be in that situation. Right? He wants to be talked about amongst those people. Hold on. I think Easy is in the meeting. Hold on. No, that was just a whatchamacallit from them. Hold on. He don't have Google Meet. How you don't have Google Meet, bro? Anyway. All right. Um, so he wants to be mentioned in that upper echelon, and he just didn't have the production last season. So now you got him for 1 year, up to 5.5 million. If he hits his incentives, which I don't know what they are, they're probably going to be somehow performance based and somehow uh, participation based. Because again, last season was his only full healthy season. So that's another thing that he has to show teams on the open market that he can stay healthy for multiple seasons. So he's hungry. He's coming back. He wants more money. Cool. Show it to us on the field. Also, he has opportunity to show it to us on the field because Aleem McNeil is not going to be available. Okay? Aleem McNeil is not going to be available at the beginning of the season. So when you look at these two signings objectively, you go, okay, these were good moves. When you look at these two signings for what they for what you want, I can understand you going, doesn't move the needle. Okay? I can understand that. It doesn't move the needle. And as a fan, you can feel the way you want to feel. I don't understand the drawing the lines in the sand, going, you're either with Brad Holmes or you're against Brad Holmes. I get it. Brad Holmes is the best GM that we've had since Martin Mayhew. Martin Mayhew only made a couple of mistakes. And those couple of mistakes were very large mistakes. They were glaring mistakes. The most glaring of them all was passing on Aaron Donald for Eric Ebron. That was the most glaring of them all. Not having a contingency plan, letting Sue walk out of the door, that was something else. But I don't think that the Aaron Donald thing was ever not as good, or I don't think that the Aaron Donald thing was ever not as glaring as anything else that he did. I think that's what he's going to be remembered for his entire tenure, not just in Detroit, outside of Detroit as well. But you would have to have someone who knows his history. Okay, Martin Mayhew. In case you guys didn't know, I think is working for the Commanders right now in some capacity. All right, Commanders fans, because they love to be in Lions fans chats. If y'all didn't know, Martin Mayhew is the guy that didn't draft Aaron Donald. He's the guy. We had the 8th overall pick, and he's the guy that took Eric Ebron. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. He's with, he might even be with the 49ers. I don't know. 49ers fans, if this gets to you, I might even change the tags so this can reach a couple more fan bases. 49ers fans, Commanders fans, Martin Mayhew is the guy that did not draft Eric Ebron or did not draft Aaron Donald, and he took Eric Ebron. So just remember that. All right. So Brad Holmes is the best one that we've had. He's the one that has given us some playoff success. We didn't have any playoff success with Martin Mayhew. We did get to the playoffs a couple of times, but we didn't have any success. Didn't win any games. How can you question Brad Holmes? And why shouldn't you question Brad Holmes? Again, I'm going to offer you a middle view. How can you question Brad Holmes? Very simply, because you're impatient and you won a Super Bowl. That's how you question Brad Holmes. You're impatient and you want to see a Super Bowl. You've never seen one. I don't care how old you are. As a Lions fan, I do not care how old you are. You have never seen a Super Bowl. You have not been to one. You have not won one because you can't win one unless you get to it. The Lions have 4 world championships. It's probably like a 1% of the of the fandom that has seen any of those titles. My father was alive the last time they won the title. I think my father was 12 the last time they won the title. Fortunately, my father's still alive today, but I can't really talk to him about it because he ain't really a fan like that. I don't know what he was doing. I know he was in Michigan. I don't know if he was watching, listening. I don't know if he was tapped in. So that's how you can question Brad Holmes. Because until the Lions win a Super Bowl, until the Lions visit a Super Bowl, not with tickets that they bought, on the field in Lions uniforms as one of the two teams playing on the field. Until you see that with the Detroit Lions, I understand that you are upset. How do you not question Brad Holmes? How should you not? Why should you not question Brad Holmes? Is what I'm looking for. Because the way that he's been doing it has led to regular season success very quickly, which led to a surprise berth in the NFC Championship game, which then led to a 15-2 season and the number 1 seed, even though we didn't win a playoff game. Wasn't Brad Holmes' fault that we didn't win the playoff game. Right? So I see both sides of the coin, but again, I am in the middle. I want to see a Super Bowl championship before I die. When I started being a fan of the Detroit Lions, I was. When did Barry get drafted? 89? I was 7. I am now 42. I have not seen my Detroit Lions go to a Super Bowl. I've seen them get close twice. Right? Now, I would submit that the first time they weren't actually close. When they played the Washington Redskins in that NFC Championship game and they got the brakes beat off of them, there wasn't any hope during that game. That got out of hand quickly. We were very close a couple years ago in San Francisco. That was probably our best opportunity. And then, of course, after that, the infamous quote from Dan when he told the players that he doesn't know if we'll be back here again. So because your own coach said such things, and then the next season we went 15-2, and we didn't get to the NFC Championship game because we lost in the divisional round. That is why people will question it. And that is why people are feeling anxious while they're watching all these other signings. DeMarcus Lawrence, who we talked about yesterday, is a Seattle Seahawk. Right? Insert name here. This is the issue that we are having. All right. Let me get to the chat. All right. Kay does not think we got better. TaylorMade Media said, where's the beef? And Kay ain't pressed, want some Chinese food. All right. Lupe Lions 17 said, breaking news, Detroit Lions just nobody. Let's see. Okay. I don't know nothing about no DoorDash. So Salty Pork Chop says, I don't know why everyone is freaking out about Zeitler. You could tell last year he was aging. I mean, he graded out pretty well. He played pretty well. He was among the tops in the run game. The passing game, I would say he was a little bit higher than middle of the pack. You know, quite a few spots higher than actually. Y'all up here talking about Chinese food. What up, though, Lori King? Taylor Made Media says, I maintain that the Lions overlooked the Commandos. I do not. I don't think they overlooked them. When you're about to go up 14-3, 14-3. That is okay, Lori King. We are glad to have you back. So everyone, let's welcome Lori King into the chat with a rousing. All right. So yeah, that's what we got on that. You guys tell me where you are at. Let me put a poll in the chat. I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. All right, there we go. There's the poll. Get your votes in. What up, though, Jay Cruising? Get your votes in. Hit me with them super chats. I remember we are trying to get to the States for training camp. Hit me with the super chats. We'll go do some meet and greets and all that stuff. We'll hang out, you know. Somebody bring me some smelt. You know what I'm saying? I'm have to hit up Dearborn and give me some smelt, baby. What up, though, Altori? So right now we've got 100% yes, 5 votes. Okay. Now, when we question Brad Holmes, what are we most concerned about? Watch this. What are we the most concerned about when we question Brad Holmes? Y'all let me know in the chat. There's something that I believe that I don't know that he's shown an inability to do. There we go. Laura King says the D line. No, I haven't had him in years either. That's why I want him. Al Torres says D line. Laura King says D line. All right. So that is the thing. When people are like, oh, you're either in or you're out. Yes. Yes. This draft is riddled with D line talent. And if Brad Holmes makes a move up in the draft and grabs a guy, big splash, everyone's going to be freaking out. Everyone's going to be excited, right? Everyone is going to be just losing their minds over all of it. Right? That's cool. I just can't find my drops when I need them, you know? Just I got all these drops. I just can't find them. Anyway, I was talking about being excited. But everyone's gonna be so excited. So excited. Where is it? I'm upset now. I can't find it.
The world, Craig.
No, that's not it. uh that's not it. Nah, I can't find it. Anyway, whatever. Um anyway. So if he does make a big splash in the draft and trades up to get a guy, everyone's going to be so excited. If he doesn't address with the first pick of the draft, if he doesn't address the defensive line, everyone's going to freak out. And we're going to freak out because the first round of the draft is a day. It's the entire day. You don't get any more picks after the first round is done. You have to wait until the next day. Right? You got to wait till the next day. So then this is why, because we don't know what's happening in the draft, because the draft is 53 days away. This is why people are just like, man, address the edge some kind of way, some kind of how. Yes, we address the defensive tackle. As I said, if you're looking at it objectively, right? What's his name? Roy Lopez. If I gotta ask you, like what a dude's name is, it's probably not great. So we got Roy Lopez. I feel like it was the same money that Marcus Davenport got, but obviously it's not going to be fully. It's not going to be so incentivized. So if you ask me about the money, I would say,
look, 79, 89, nice little deal.
Okay, I don't have a problem with the deal. The Levi Onwuzurike situation. If you ask me about the 1 year up to $5.5 million, I would say,
look, 79, 89, nice little deal.
I'm not worried about that. Right? But what else did we get? This is the problem that everybody has. If you have a problem with it, this is the problem that you have. If you don't have a problem with it, you're just like, okay, well, something is coming down the pipe. I am simply anxious. From me, as a content creator that follows and covers the Detroit Lions, I am anxious to see what will happen before the draft. And that's the sentiment of a Ryan Armani and a Maz and all these other people that are quote unquote freaking out about it. Because you haven't seen the move. Will the move happen? Probably. Is it on the horizon? Probably. Can Big Z come back? Probably. Right? Even though he put, a farewell kind of post to Detroit in his Instagram when he said, "Thank you, Detroit." But could he come back? Yeah, he could. Right? I also used to could be able to almost dunk. Right? And until you see me do it, you won't believe it. So until we see something happen, we are going to be anxious. So to the people that feel like it's it's wrong to question Brad Holmes, which I don't see any of those people in my chat because it's still 100%, right? If you feel like it's wrong to question Brad Holmes, that's fine that you have the utmost faith and confidence in Brad Holmes getting this done with the defensive line. I told you I am going to yesterday when KG was on, right? If y'all didn't catch that show after this one, make sure that you go back and watch it. I told y'all yesterday that I am going to be in Marcus Davenport's corner because his press conference was sad. If you did not see his press conference, I encourage you after this show to go and watch his introductory press conference after he, re-signed with the Detroit Lions. It was very sad. Anybody that said that, oh, he doesn't care, I don't know what y'all were watching. I saw a man that was filled with passion and was upset at himself, upset at whatever, for him not being able to take the field and, quote, as he said, shoulder the load that my teammates or watch my teammates carry the load that I was supposed to carry. This is what Marcus Davenport said about being hurt. He said it sucked because I was watching my teammates carry a load that I was supposed to carry. So he feels responsible, probably, he didn't say it, but for their lack of success in the playoffs, he probably feels responsible for that because he wasn't available. So I'm going to be in Marcus Davenport's corner. I'm going to be rooting for Marcus Davenport to succeed and to stay healthy. I also want $1 million in my bank account every morning when I wake up. I haven't seen it happen. I can believe that it's going to happen all I want to, but I have not seen it. So I do not have a point of reference. 5 days ago, I woke up and I had $1 million in my account. So I know it can happen. No. So that's the same thing that we're saying. One time I saw Marcus Davenport play an entire 17-game season. No, I didn't. So I don't know that it can happen. Would love for it to happen. I hope Marcus Davenport gets every penny of that $4.75 million. 100%. I hope he does it, and then I hope he signs a multiple 3 to 4 year deal and plays every snap of every one of those 3 to 4 years for the Detroit Lions. I hope he averages 15 sacks a season while Hutch averages 20. I hope the Detroit Lions win the next 10 Super Bowls. Take that, Kansas City. Y'all couldn't three-peat. We three-peated 3 times in a row. And then we put one more on top of it for good measure. I hope all these things happen. What is the likelihood of those things happening? It's not likely at all. All right. Why are we pausing, Jay Cruisen? Let's see. Let me get to y'all's. What up, though? Tactical Sport. TaylorMade says, same folks fell apart last year when my man Brad Holmes didn't get who they wanted. They also own 37 businesses. I know people like that. It's a shame. It's a shame that none of those 37 businesses actually exist. We're becoming a broken record. Brad should hear the fans. We need a Super Bowl appearance. 100%, Lori. Mr. Detroit City says, let's go Lions. Lori King says, I am not panicking because I am used to it since I was born. However, we need to do something to get us over that NFC Championship game. Facts. Big facts. Jay Cruisen says, sing, chef, you are cooking. Um, Taylor May didn't watch the presser, but that sounds like a grown ass man in the NFL. Facts. Joseph Murdoch, what up though? He says Brad Holmes believes that a blind squirrel can find a nut. All of his injured players are blind squirrels. Blind squirrels can find their nuts, says Lori King. All of his injured players are going to return to health. All right. Again, that is what that is. All right. So there has been a rumor that I heard. I heard this today. I was watching the heavyweights, so I will review my source. The man Scott said that the Detroit Lions have been talking to Von Miller. Now I know Von Miller is on the outs for most people because of some activities that he was involved in, which allegedly involved him putting his hands on the opposite gender. I'll say allegedly because I have to. Right? Again, if we're thinking that a tiger won't change their stripes, they're not gonna get Von Miller. For those of you that didn't hear this yesterday, we had this conversation, me and KG. Again, if you didn't see it, go check it out after this show because it's on the channel. The Detroit Lions have a type, and their type on the defensive end is the big, bulky guys. If you guys are wondering, Texas A&M, they had all that talent on the defensive line, but it wasn't a situation where they were getting to the quarterback at the rate that you would have thought that they would have got to them. When those guys went to the combine, they had all lost weight. For you, anybody who's a combine nerd, and they can just rattle off the stats, and I don't mean nerd in a bad way. I just mean you're really passionate. What up, though, Mr. Morale 313? Where you been at? You missing all the fun. If you are a draft nerd, draft Nick, draft geek, whatever have you, what did Shamar Stewart weigh in as? Right? That's what I want to know. Because during the season, he was 6'6", 290. And I think he dropped 5 to 10 pounds to go to the combine. So maybe Texas A&M did similar things with their defensive line that the Lions likes, or the Lions like. Look at Josh Pascal. Did Josh Pascal not bulk up and get bigger when he came to the Detroit Lions? And I don't mean like traditionally you just put on more muscle and you get lean and cut. Didn't he gain weight to play his role in the Detroit Lions defense? Right? Jay Cruzen says that KG collab was good. Yeah, for sure. I think we had good chemistry, pause. Right? So what if the Detroit Lions were to draft a Nick Scordon and a Shamar Stewart and then say, hey, we need you to put that weight back on? Like, I love the run stuffing and everything, but I need to get a little bit lighter and a little bit faster on one edge. Would y'all agree or no? Hutch is Hutch is a big dude. He's 6'7", but he's lean, he's quick, he's got a high motor, he gets to the quarterback. He's relentless. He gets there. We saw it last season. He had 7.5 sacks before he went out. 7.5 sacks in 5 games. And it wasn't 5 full games either. It was 4.5 games. So on that other side of Hutch, I would just love to see someone coming off the ball, coming off the edge, lighter, like a Hassan Reddick type. Y'all gonna have to switch some things around. Derek Barnes is not a pass rushing Sam. Derek Barnes has 1 sack in his career. He could have had 2. One of them could have been for a safety. Would have been big. Very big. There was a point swing involved in that because, after he missed that sack, a certain cornerback fell down while trying to guard CeeDee Lamb, and CeeDee Lamb walked into the end zone from 98 yards out. So that was a multi-layered miss, Derek Barnes. And for a while, I didn't want to hear anything about Derek Barnes. I wanted him off the team always and forever until he got that interception to send us to the NFC Championship game. And then he redeemed himself. Maybe that's what the strength and conditioning folks got told to do with Broderick Martin too. I don't know what they got told to do with Broderick Martin. I don't know what Broderick Martin does. If Tactical Spork is here, he can tell you. Detroit fan man, what up though? He says, I'm trying to be a draftinpreneur, but I ain't making any bread yet. Man, you just gotta keep at it, man. You gotta keep at it. Jay Cruiser says, I hope everyone gets an effing ring. Why? So Lori King says, I'm still not happy about Zadarius Smith being released. Neither am I. So again, I was watching the heavyweights and Scott Bischoff was there. And he said that the reason that they let Zadarius Smith go was because there were 3 option years on the end of his contract, which would have ballooned his salary to $12 million this year. Again, Joey Bosa just signed a 1-year, $12 million deal. Zadarius Smith is healthy and he's available. Joey Bosa is not healthy, he's not available. Zadarius Smith had 9 sacks last year, 5 in Cleveland, 4 in Detroit. Joey Bosa, the last few years, 9 sacks is his maximum. I think it's been 4 years since he's had a double-digit sack season. So you want to look at 9 sacks is his ceiling, and he got $12 million a year for 1 year. Why couldn't Zadarius Smith get the same? I mean, just restructure his contract. Give him the $12 million for the 1 year. If you're not going to re-sign him next year, because nobody thinks that he would have been on the team. Everybody that talks this contract stuff thinks that Zadarius Smith was not going to be on the team next year. Sign him for this year. $12 million is a steal for a guy that can go get you 9 sacks. A guy that can go get you 9 sacks. Khalil Mack got paid this year, 1 year, $18 million, coming off of a 6-sack season, when the season before that he had 17 sacks. 6 in 1 game. But he's been paid off of his potential and what he could do. But we know what Zadarius Smith can do. He's been in the league for quite some time. So it's moves like the Zadarius Smith move. It's moves like the Kevin Zeitler move, where you cut one of guys, you don't resign the other one, you don't match a $9 million deal. For a player of Kevin Zeitler's caliber, and I know he's long in the tooth, he'll be like 37 this year or something like that, but he's still playing at a top 5, top 10 level. If you say in the run game, he's still playing at a top 5 level. If he's in the run game, in the pass game, like I said, I think he's number 32 out of 150. Okay? So that would mean that he's the last ranked starter in the pass game, which isn't particularly great. But I think for $9 million,
Look, 79, 89. Nice little deal.
I didn't have a problem with it. I did not have a problem with it. So that's why moves like these make people think there's got to be something else coming down the pipe. Because what are you saving money for? I do understand that you have to re-sign Hutch, but you don't have to re-sign him this year. J-Mo, you don't have to do it this year. Kirby Joseph, in theory, you don't have to do it this year. He does have one more year remaining, right? But you probably want to get something done with him so he doesn't enter the year as a lame duck, right? Because sometimes people, and I don't think Kirby would do this, but you take it off the table. Sometimes people are making business decisions out there. I didn't get my contract, so I'm not gonna stick my head in there. But we really needed you to tackle that guy to win the playoff game. I didn't get my contract. No, 100% Kirby's not doing that. But the point is that you probably want to pay a guy so he doesn't enter the last year of his season with no guaranteed money and he's not signed for the long term. Okay. But let's say you did. Let's say you did sign Hutch this year and you signed J-Mo this year. Both of those guys, I say that because they're going into year 4 and there is a 5th-year option on the table. But for the point that I'm trying to make, if you re-sign them, then that money doesn't kick in until their rookie deal is finished because you signed them to an extension. You didn't sign them to a new contract. Right? So why not take that 21 million and put it in Big Z and Kevin Zeitler? Is something else coming? Is something else happening other than signing Craig Reynolds, which should be happening? That's why people are looking towards Trey Hendrickson. You freeing up money for what? That's the question. Why are you freeing up money? When you have enough, the Detroit Lions have the highest adjusted cap per all of the playoff teams. They have the most amount of money out of all of the playoff teams. I'm just saying. Questions get asked. Let me get to your let me get to your chats. Detroit City, Mr. Detroit City says mailbag. Maybe Brad stopped cooking because Broderick kept eating it all. That's possible. I never looked at that angle. Do y'all agree with that? Brad stopped cooking because Broderick Martin kept eating it all. Lori King says, I was really looking forward to seeing Smith and Hutch together. Tactical Sports says, yeah, releasing Smith didn't make any sense. Jay Cruisin says, I'm thinking Z Smith comes back tomorrow or Friday. I would love for that to happen. Lori King says, Chef, exactly. Mr. Morale 313 says, Brad, boom. Uh Z Black, what up though? He says he probably got a deal like DJ Reader. Al Torrey says, bring back Z as a starter, Davenport for depth, and get 2 dogs in the draft. That would be, hey, if you did that, fantastic. That would be A plus. That would be what Brad did last year with the secondary. Right? That would be what he did last year with the secondary, except for the veterans would be starting, not the rookies. Lori King says, Smith really looks so happy and proud to be part of our team. Yes, 100%. He was very happy, very proud, very excited. Steve Licken says, hope Z Smith comes back. I wonder what we're going to do about Zeitler going to Tennessee. Go FA draft. Glasgow's not very good anymore. Mahogany can replace him, but Mahogany will replace Zeitler, and Glasgow will be there. Now, give me the first 2 picks on the defensive line, and then you can do what you want. Right? If you want to draft a guard in the 3rd round or the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever, give me the first 2 picks in the defensive and on the defensive line. That's all I want to see. That's it. Wait a minute. Zadarius Smith got traded to the Lions for a reason. If the Lions didn't make room for his salary, it wasn't there. No, there's room. There's room. There's room. Okay. I just this year. Who are we paying this year? Okay. Let's even talk. We wouldn't talk math, right? Okay. We're gonna talk about some contract stuff. And if we're talking about contract stuff, we gotta say,
look, 79, 89. Nice little deal.
Hey. It's one of my favorite drops. I got some more drops for y'all, man. I need to be using these because I went through all types to get these. All right. So when Zadarius Smith came to the Detroit Lions, he was like,
look at me, America. Look how Tron is living for the city.
So this was Zadarius Smith when he came to Detroit. Let's look at the deals. When we started off this offseason, we had about $80 million in cap because of the adjusted cap. Let's say 75 to be safe. We signed Marcus Davenport to an incentive-laden deal, which is worth up to 4.75 million. We signed Levi Onwuzurike to an incentive-laden deal, which is up to 5.5 million. So right there, we've got what? Just about 11 million or a little bit over 10 million. Okay. Which is not guaranteed to actually be 10 million. Now, yes, we want it to be on the higher end of the spectrum because that means both Marcus Davenport and Levi Onwuzurike perform like dogs. We signed Roy Lopez to, I think it was about 4.75 million. Let me be exactly 100% sure with this. Because I want to get these numbers. $4.65 million. Okay. So Lions to add run stuffing defensive tackle Roy Lopez with 4.65 million 1-year deal. I don't know how much of it is guaranteed. So now we're around 15 million. Okay. Follow me, right? So I said we had 75 million. Now let's say we got 60 million. Did we do anything else? We signed, what's his name? That linebacker from the Colts with all the hair. They showed him last year. He was a madman, right? Is it Grant Stewart? I think that's his name. Yeah, Grant Stewart with a D. I put it with a T. So Grant Stewart, what's his deal? I see that they signed him. I don't see anything on the deal. Numbers. All right, I don't see any numbers. All right, so his numbers aren't out yet. Let's see. Stewart joins the linebacking core headlined by the trio of Alex Anzalonis, Jack Campbell, and Derek Barnes. Malcolm Rodriguez also provides, okay, but he tore his ACL on Thanksgiving. Okay, no, it doesn't say. I forgot Derek Barnes. DJ Reed, Derek Barnes. All right, so DJ Reed is 16 million per. Okay, Derek Barnes is 8 million per. So that's what? 24 million. So, okay, 60 take away 20 is 40, 36. We're at 36 million. Okay. Between Zadar, I'm not even talking about whatchamacallit. So we're at 36 million, right? You couldn't give Zadarius 12 million. If you give Zadarius 12 million, if you bring him back at 12 million for 1 year or 2, right? Let's just say for the sake of argument, we bring him back for 1 year at 12 million. We're currently at $30 million in cap space. Would be at 18 million. Do you have enough to sign your draft class? Because the point about this is you'll be at 18 million, so you'll have money left over to do other things. And also, you're only that 12 million is gonna count against this year's cap, and he's gonna be off the books next year because you're signing him to a 1-year deal. So my point was that there's room for Zadarius Smith's contract. There's all types of room. We got it. We got the room. Yeah, I mean, you gonna use the cap space or not use the cap space? We got it. All right. All right, let me get back to some of your chats. So Steve Licken says, in my opinion, we need to bring Z Smith back, like Altori said, draft 2 DEs. Joseph Murdoch says, I understand the contract balloon payment the Lions dodged. I can't understand why they didn't come to the table with a restructure. That's exactly what I'm saying. And that restructure to me, because of what I just said, it doesn't need to be different, right? Hey, Zadarius, you're slated to get 12 million next year, but you're going to count 6 million against our cap the year after that, even if you're not on the team. How about we just give you 12 million to come back? You cool with that? Okay, sign it. I'm not asking you to take a pay cut. I'm taking your bonuses. We throwing the bonuses in the trash because those are causing problems with our cap. This is how Cleveland structured your contract. We're going to restructure your contract to make it work for the Detroit Lions. We're going to give you the same amount of money. Maybe even a little bit more. I mean, you came here and you played 7 games, you got 4 sacks. Right? You played 7 games, you got 4 sacks. What's wrong with that? Right? You know what he was going to say? You know what he's gonna say? If you said we'll give you the same amount of money, we'll roll it all into 1 year, 12 million fully guaranteed. You know what he said?
Yeah, holla at your boy.
Why not? You know? Why not? Jay Cruz says, love the heavyweights. I do too. Shout out Easy. Shout out Spinny. Easy was supposed to be on the show today, but you know, we got the wires crossed. It was a last minute thing. And unfortunately, when I have him on the show, I have to use StreamYard. And I didn't get the StreamYard up, and I couldn't get it on time when he told me he was gonna come on because I had already started the show. I tried to work around, but that workaround wasn't gonna work around. You feel me? All right. When it comes down to the come down, it wasn't gonna work out. Steve Lickens says the new cap money was added as well. I believe we are 5th overall in money too. Yeah, we're high up there. And like I said, we're number 1 amongst all playoff teams with the money. Stewart, yeah, DJ Reed. Oh, we did sign Skip. What was Skip's contract? Cap space including Detroit Fan Man says, I think Stewart is the germ replacement. Yeah. While filling in for Rodrigo while he recovers his depth. Now, remember, Stewart, he was all over the field now. So they saw that when they played the Colts, and they were like, yeah, sign this dude up. Hey, you never know. Stewart could be our Zach Bond. Because that dude can play. I'm not even going to lie on that one. That was a good signing. Cap space, including the money added for this year, $64,408,084, which is 5th in the league. Most among playoff teams from last year. Dead cap is $18.8 million from Spot Track. Why do we have $18.8 million in dead cap? What happened to any contracts? Saw this on another line chat by Chat Sports. Now, was that with the moves that we've already made, or was that coming in? I think that was coming in, right? Dead. I read it as dead cap. Okay, now I go back and see it. That's something. I don't remember what that's called, but it's something when your mind just sees it the way it's supposed to be. Right? I did not see dad cap at all. TaylorMade Media says, sounds like a salary dump to me. If you're talking about Zadarius Smith, yeah, it was a salary dump for what? That's why I'm saying, if you're looking at that and you go, well, I don't really understand what that was for, that's when you start letting the wheels turn and be like, maybe Trey Hendrickson? Maybe, right? You know, if we got Trey Henderson, it would just be like,
Can't stop. Won't stop.
yeah, for a more valuable player, Trey Hendrickson. Bro, I'm giving up the 60th pick for 1 year of Trey Hendrickson. But that's the thing. Will he come here on a 1 year deal? If you gave him, let's say he wants a $30 million per, right? Well, whenever you get $30 million per for, let's say, 4 years, that entire $30 million per is not guaranteed. So what I'm proposing to you, Trey Hendrickson, is come on under your current cap hit, which I think is $21 million. We'll fully guarantee that $21 million for you. And then you can hit the open market next year. I mean, if you get injured, I understand, but you got $21 million guaranteed. Whether you get injured or not. I'm just saying. Um, I doubt it doesn't hurt to ask though. Worst thing they can say is no. Yeah. No, they've been saying look, they've been saying that they will now accept a low second round pick, high first round or third round pick for Trey Hendrickson. The asking price ain't in the first round. And it's not even at the top of the second round. Go get Trey. I'm just saying. I do need that cold blooded. There's some other ones that I can't play.
Well, you know, Rob, earlier today we asked him what he did with the money. Let's take a look.
I bought my mama a car. I spent the rest on PCP.
What? Also, if we got Trey Hendrickson.
Celebration, Beckett.
I'll see. I got the whole soundboard for the Chappelle show, so I'll see if they included that cold blooded. It's Dave Chappelle. No, Steve Lickens. For what reason? See now you talking that garbage. Talk about some Cooper Cup. For what? For what? Oh, you said you were referring to the 1-year deal? Okay. Now that Myles Garrett is off the board, maybe you should get my man Brad Holmes on the horn with whoever the GM is in Cincy. I don't know that they've had conversations, so I can't report the conversations to you because if they hadn't had them, then it's just been fictitious. I was told to stop with the clickbait titles when I was doing the conversations between Brad Holmes and Andrew Berry. I said it wasn't a clickbait title. It was a segment from the show. So you don't want him. No, nobody wants him. No, I don't. Look, if you're a Detroit Lions fan and you want the Detroit Lions to go spend money on Cooper Kupp, I don't know what to tell you. How does Cooper Kupp fit in this offense? We have to remember. Now, I'm not talking to anybody specifically here because no one has professed their love for Cooper Kupp. But last year, during training camp, when we were looking at Darius Fountain, okay, that's how you know I'm a Lions fan because I remember that name. What was that dude's name? It's on the tip of my tongue. The other dude. I'm not thinking of Maurice Alexander. I'm thinking of the other guy. What was his name? That was like tearing it up in camp supposedly and didn't make the team because he wasn't doing anything in the games. No, it was in training camp. Yeah, I know you said that. He was that dude, like he had bounced around. He was a practice squad player on the Arizona Cardinals. What was that dude's name? I can't remember. Like I've talked about him every day. It was Darius Fountain and it was the other dude that were kind of like battling in training camp. No Taylor Made. It wasn't Pat O'Connor. Anyway, now watch me like remember his name after I end the show. When we had those two and nobody was separating themselves in camp because Donovan Peoples-Jones damn sure wasn't doing nothing. I don't know what's going on with Donovan Peoples-Jones. I mean, you went to Cass Tech, all that, bruh. I would have killed to play for the Detroit Lions. But anyway, so when no one was separating themselves from that in camp, And then we were like, well, Khalif Raymond is really your wide receiver number 3. And people were like, he's too small. He's a gadget guy. Blah, 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 blah. And then we got Tim Patrick and everybody was elated. So why do you want Cooper Kupp? I'm just saying, anybody that wants Cooper Kupp. I understand Cooper Kupp once upon a time won a Triple Crown, but don't you think Cooper Kupp and Amon-Ra St. Brown are a bit redundant? I mean, that's just a question, right? They're a bit redundant. I would say so. The kid from North Carolina is Antoine Green. No, not him. Now you're going to make me look up. Because of Goff from the Rams? No. Cooper Kupp doesn't make sense here. Let me find him. I'm going to find his name because it's bothering me now. All right. His name. Got to go back into the archives. Caden Davis. Caden Davis. And then you also had Jalen Calhoun and Traquan Smith. Right? None of those guys were doing anything when they had opportunities in the game. And like I said, we signed Tim Patrick, and everyone was enamored, and Tim Patrick did a great job. No to Cooper Kupp. No. Yeah, I think he did go to Toledo, and then he bounced around. He got cut from a few practice squads. Yeah, people that thought that we were going to trade for Kupp was crazy. Look, just like I knew Devontae Adams wasn't getting traded, because when a team is like desperately trying to trade you, then other teams know that you're not going to keep them on your roster, so they're not going to give up assets. They can just go and negotiate with him after you cut him, because he's going to become a free agent. From what I heard, but I think that Saint Goff, we might as well call him Saint Goff. That's the name for him, Saint Goff. Saint Brown and Goff is magic. Yeah, I mean, they got that connection. We don't need Cooper Kupp. Caden Davis, bro. I wonder what camp bodies we're gonna fall in love with. Cause every year, the year before last, it was, what was his name? I feel like his name was Drummond. Right, from Eastern Michigan. Oh, he was tearing it up in camp. And then the dude got in the game, couldn't do nothing. Did Josh Reynolds talk? Bro. No, man. Josh Reynolds is a Goff merchant. Every time Josh Reynolds leaves Jared Goff, he gets cut. He does nothing. If we're going to get a receiver that our quarterback is going to make, just draft a 7th round rookie. I get the Josh Reynolds. I'm just saying, I don't trust Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds dropped 2 balls. Pause. Right? As men, we all drop 2 balls, right? I'm sorry.
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
I'm just saying. I'm sorry. um. Well, I'm saying tailor made when you, it's not a pause because that's how you become a man. The balls got to drop. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Um, I graduated from Eastern 2 times, attended while Batch was our QB. What up, though, Jesse fan? Um, you was watching for that one. Oh yeah, I got that one. I might be on making a special appearance on a show in the morning. I don't know. I have to talk to KG. I don't know. It's not confirmed yet, but I might be on there. So because I won't be on tomorrow, if it's gonna happen, I'll put up a community post. So y'all make sure y'all be on the lookout for the community post. Um, some of the bros are older than others. Brad picked up a DT, LB plus a CB and FA. I'm thinking he might double dip at DE this draft and O line day 3. I hope he double dips at DE, and I hope he grabs it. Like if you told me the first 3 rounds were gonna go edge a defensive tackle, I'd be so happy with that draft. I'd be so happy with that draft. I wouldn't have any problems. You know, so I no problems at all. Dang, we got 20 votes that said it's okay to question Brad Holmes. I feel y'all, man. I feel y'all. But if we were to get Cooper Cup, then it would have to be a situation like
I'd like to welcome all you ignorant ass bitches, critics.
All right. All right. Anything else on the docket? Any other questions y'all got? Mailbag. Again, let me check my Discord. If you are interested in now, the draft is 53 days away now. Okay. If you are interested in becoming or participating in the whatchamacallit. Hold on. If you guys are interested in participating in the big mock draft towards the draft, 32 members of the chat will all represent one team. Steve Licken says mock draft on Friday. We will do one. We gotta figure out our our draft apparatus to be able to do this. Now, does anybody know? Does PFF have a private room? Because you guys did do the super chat. I'll take some of that money and subscribe to PFF. And if they have a private draft room, then we can do it from there because I'm pretty sure it'll be a lot more reliable than what we used before. But if you want to be part of that big draft, then I'll put the Discord the link in, and you can join the Discord and do that. Hold on, I got some show topics here. I missed that one. I don't even know if that's a topic now, Mr. Morrell, because we did that real quick. We finished that one up real quick. Um, Steve Lickens says, all depends on my work schedule, but I would enjoy helping out. All right, Steve, I will put that link in the. Hold on, let me get this link right quick. I'll put the link in the chat so you can join the Discord. We are trying to make sure we get all that together. It's good that I put this out here now so we can work out the kinks and I ain't just try to jump in there and do it. All right, Joseph Murdoch, we'll see you later. If anybody can find anything, I'll look as well. If anybody can find another, what was it, Pro Football Reference that had the private draft room? But people just kept getting kicked out, which is why it is not great. I'll reach out to somebody and ask them what they used. Because someone asked me to be a part of it. They were doing creators from all 32 teams, and they asked me to be a part of it for the Lions. But I did. It was like a message request, so I didn't see it until like yeah, I didn't see it until like the day, and he already got a replacement. So I'll reach out to that guy, ask him what he used. Yeah, it was Pro Football Network. Okay. So something other than Pro Football Network, if y'all can figure out something, I'll look as well, as I said. But yes, I will not be here tomorrow. Obviously, it is Thursday. All right. I don't do a Thursday show unless, like it was some breaking news or something I could jump on and talk about it. Like if we trade for Trey Hendrickson, I'm definitely gonna hop on for a minute and we're gonna talk about it. But that is it, man. I appreciate everyone for coming through, hanging out. Appreciate you, Steve Lickens. Ask Easy or Dion, they would know. Yeah, I'll ask Easy. Like I said, Easy was supposed to be here, but it is what it is. All right. So appreciate y'all. The Motor City Cats back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And if there's anybody out there that tells you that you shouldn't keep your Lions news pragmatic, you just got to look at them and say, and we are out. Peace.